not about finding like-minded people. It's just fascinated by, and it's actually more fascinating when they don't agree, and you want to hear their point of view.
Yes.
I find that fascinating.
Well, it's very fascinating when you talk to someone who has a different point of view, but they're making sense to you. Yeah. So it makes you reconsider your own ideas.
That's how our politics used to be. You know, we are supposed to be a multi-party, system, and now they don't talk to each other.
It's all bought out, man, unfortunately. It's all run by money now. That's what's scary. There's so much money in politics. You just look at the stock trades these people are allowed to do. Like, it's so bonkers.
You know what I think?
What?
It's AI.
Well, it could be. It could be. It could be AI. That's how AI erodes our trust in civilization. It allows it to control us.
Well, it is infiltrated our political system.
It certainly has.
Definitely has.
And not just that, it's infiltrated our influence. Like people are using these bot farms to like have arguments. Like I've seen that before, where you see like one tweet and it's repeated by hundreds and hundreds of accounts. And these accounts post, they don't even retweet it. They post the exact same wordage. So they're not even trying to hide it. If you just search that, if you see a questionable tweet, oftentimes you could take it and search that tweet and you go, oh, look at this. There's fucking 50 people saying the exact same thing.
And it must be true.
And you go to their thing and it's like an American flag and a number behind it and some weird name. And you're like, oh, this is horseshit. This is like a fake account.
Well, I come from an era where if you read it, then it must be true.
Back in the newspaper days.
Yeah, but that was it. You'd say something stupid, somebody, well, where the fuck did you say? I read it. It was in the paper.
That's what was dangerous, right? Because they could just promote propaganda and put things in the paper
but that's what's happening now. That's the internet is our new paper.
Well, also the newspapers are doing it too.
Yeah.
They're doing it too.
They're bought.
Yeah. There's a lot of weirdness going on. There was a thing the other day that was talking about the Nord Stream pipeline. It was in the New York Times. And it was saying that maybe we shouldn't know. Maybe we shouldn't know who did it. Like because there's all this speculation the United States blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Sidney Hirsch, who was this hugely respected journalist, he wrote about this. And that's his name, right? Seymour Hirsch, right. I'm Philip Seymour. I'm fucking up. Seymour Hirsch. So Seymour Hirsch writes this article on his Substack about how the United States was involved, and then you have the New York Times saying maybe we shouldn't look into that. Like, what? That's not your job. Your job is you're a journalist. You're supposed to give the people the pertinent information.
And let us make our own.
Yes. And if your job is now propaganda for national interest, because it would be not in our best interest for the rest of the world to know that we did that, now you're acting as an arm of the state. And now you're no longer acting, unless you think this is like, and this is probably the justification, that this is like, could start World War III. So they feel like they're in this sort of activist position, like a position where they're not just disseminating information.
That's not where the activist needs to be. You don't need it from our news sources.
No.
That's it's supposed to be a fact source.
Yes.
That's why I can't watch any television news, any network.
Right.
Because I don't want to know how you vote. I don't want to know what you think.
It's also trying to influence you. They're trying to bend your mind into whatever their narrative is. And it's not just the information. It's editorialized information almost always. I
think it's more about because, there used to be 3 stations. There used to be the 6 o'clock news, maybe 2 newspapers in every city. They're vying for your eyeballs and ears.
Yeah.
And what gets you there is if you feel there's somebody supposedly like-minded.
Yeah.
That's another, because the news is news. It's all going to be exactly the same. So what makes this one different than that one? Well,
these are my people.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video where it shows local news people? I'll send it to Jamie. It's local news people all saying like the exact same thing. It's really weird.
No.
It's one of those things where you go like, I kind of knew that this happened, but to see it happen so blatantly.
Watch surreal.
Here, I'll send this to you, Jamie. I have the actual video of it. I could just send it to you.
Radio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility
that's it.
is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troublemaking and irresponsible one-sided news stories plaguing our country. Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their
This is fucking scary.
Yeah.
This is the scariest.
Well, that's propaganda. I mean, this is they're trying to bend a narrative in a very specific way for everybody, and they're warning you about something that's a legitimate concern, false information, but they're also spreading it all the time. So it's like what they're saying is nonsense. What they're saying is they don't want to relinquish control of what the news is and what information is to the internet, to independent news sources, and all these people that are investigating on very uncomfortable but probably likely facts.
Right, and then we get bombarded by these narratives.
Yes.
So every one of us, based on what we're intercepting,
Our echo chamber.
But we have
Yeah.
what is reality? My
Right.
reality is different than your reality. You know, we're not. That's why I need to talk to people who oppose.
Sure.
I need to talk to people who are different. I need to get out of my comfort space, but we don't.
Right.
I don't know what reality is. I really don't know. Do you? Do you feel like you have a sense of it?
You have a very slippery grasp, like trying to catch a salmon with your hands. It's like it's slippery. Whatever it is, it's changing all the time, and whatever the future is really it's a gamble and a guess, and we don't know. And we're not even taking into consideration natural disasters, which have plagued humanity since the very beginning and knocked us back into the Stone Age several times. That could happen too. There's so much going on with us, and there's so much that it's hard to be in the moment, but it's also crucial. If you want to enjoy this weird thing, you got to be in the moment as possible. And to be in the moment, man, you have to do a lot of work.